1882, in the financial district of Paris, the Banque de France quietly stepped in to save the rich men of the Paris Bourse. The Union Général bank had just collapsed. This is money psychology in its rawest form. The wealth psychology nobody says out loud. It shows you the dark truth of class dynamic psychology in a single night. Outside, regular people were wiped out. Inside, behind locked doors, wealthy families swallowed their children's debts whole. Young heirs went to bed not knowing they'd failed. The failure had already been erased by a private banking syndicate. They woke up thinking they were just lucky. This is the kind of dark wisdom money keeps hidden. They never saw the cushion holding them up. A collapse doesn't fall on everyone the same way. From the street it looks like weather. A storm that hit some houses and spared others by chance. But up close, in the lit room, there are hands on it. Somebody is choosing. And the names that get protected were known before the boy who lost the money was even born. You've met this person. Not the heir from 1882. Now, today. Maybe you sit near them at work. Maybe you've watched them glide across a room like the floor was built for them. They quit safe jobs with no backup. They start expensive companies on a half-formed idea and a feeling that they deserve it. They move across the country because they're bored. From the outside, it looks like courage, some deep strength you were never given. But it's not courage. It's a trick of the structure, one of the unspoken financial truths nobody hands you. Real bravery is doing the dangerous thing while feeling the danger. It costs something. The person you envy isn't pushing through fear. They just don't have the fear. What looks like a leap of faith to you is, to them, a small step across a gap they already know is shallow. Same motion, completely different act. This is the psychology of wealth in plain sight, disguised as personality. You were taught the people who succeed were brave enough to take the risk. You were never taught to ask the only question that matters. Was it a risk for them? When you grow up on bare concrete, you learn to walk careful. You watch your feet. Your bones remember the floor. Maybe you were 8 and you saw your mother's face change when she opened a particular envelope. You didn't understand the numbers. You understood her face. You learned the ground wasn't safe before you had words for it. It's still there. It does fast automatic math every time you reach for your wallet. This is what financial psychology actually is. Not a subject you study. A thing installed in your nervous system before you had a vote. That fear was correct. For you, caution keeps you alive. But the same fear that keeps you alive keeps you small. A reckless bet and a smart, survivable leap set off the exact same alarm. Because your body only ever learned one lesson. Falling ends you. Some people spent their whole lives on padding. They fell as kids. Everyone falls. But something was always underneath. A parent who covered it. A name that opened the door. So their body learned the floor is soft. They can throw themselves backward into the dark and only ever feel a soft bounce. And here's the part that should raise the hair on your arms. They don't know the padding is there. You can't feel a cushion you've stood on your whole life. They think the air is just kinder to them. And you grew up on the concrete, learned the true lesson of your conditions, did everything right, and you told yourself you were just being careful. Go back to those locked rooms. Winter, 1882. This time, watch the mechanism. Nobody waved a wand. A position got moved from one ledger to another. A debt that belonged to a specific young man's name got carried, on paper. Somewhere it could be absorbed. A transfer here. A wiped ledger there. Small motions of a pen, made by calm men in a warm room. It's not a heist. It's paperwork. Men protecting their own. And money doesn't vanish. A loss is a loss. Somebody has to eat it. It rolled downhill, away from the names that mattered, onto names that didn't. People who had no warm room, and no pen moving on their behalf. This is wealth dynamics in its purest form, and it's quieter than you imagine. The heirs never saw the red ink. They never even knew those people existed. They turned the tap, clean water came out, and they never once thought about the pipes. The boy wakes up. The coffee is hot. The world is gentle, the way it always is. If there's nothing special about the protected kid, why does the world keep handing them everything? Because missing fear looks exactly like skill. Watch it work. The stakes are high. Everyone's tight. and the protected person speaks loose and commits fast without their voice shaking. Everyone reads that as competence. They think, that person isn't afraid, so they must know something. But the calm didn't come from mastery, it came from the padding. The thing that reads as wisdom is just an absence, a missing alarm, and the room mistakes its silence for the sound of skill. This is behavioral economics, with the lights off. We don't reward the best decision. We reward the most confident-looking one. And confidence isn't a measure of judgment. It's a measure of how protected you are from being wrong. Meanwhile, the careful person, who understands the danger exactly because they feel every ounce of it, reads as nervous. The world looks at the most clear-eyed person in the room and calls it financial weakness, when it's the opposite. This is the status signaling underneath everything. Calm is read, instantly, as proof you belong at the top. But that calm is very often not earned. It's a side effect of never having had to be afraid. It's a quiet lie, and it never stops, including in you. When you look at the calm person and feel small, you're handing them the authority with your own eyes. There's a third position, and it might be the cruelest. The middle, the people given just enough to see the doors, but not enough to walk through them. Maybe they got the education that was supposed to be the floor, the right schools, the rooms full of protected kids, close enough to learn the language, close enough to almost believe they had it too. Then they graduated and found the floor was never theirs. This is human behavior and money at its most invisible. They've stood next to the soft floor their whole lives, and they have to watch people who are no smarter simply step onto it and float, while they run the same scared math you run, and they were taught to hide the fear. They look like the protected kid and feel like the concrete kid, and that gap, held for years, quietly tears people apart. It's one of the saddest financial behavior patterns there is. How many times have you held back? Don't rush the question. Count. You had a real idea, a gut feeling that pointed somewhere, a moment where you wanted to tell a bad boss no, or tell a risky dream yes, and you felt the yes rise up in your chest, fully formed. And then you looked at your bank balance. You saw that 3 months without income would undo 5 years of grinding. This is what a scarcity mindset really is. Not weakness, just memory. A body that learned the floor was hard and never got to unlearn it. It's accurate. That's the unbearable part. So you stayed. You did the smart thing. And for you, with no cushion underneath, the careful choice was often the correct one. You weren't weak. You were doing honest math about a real drop. But here's the cut. Someone else jumped. They landed clean. They got called a visionary, the same move you talked yourself out of. But they had the floor you didn't. So for them, it wasn't a gamble. It was a stroll. The world told them they were special, and they believed every word. Some wrote books about it, never knowing their risk was a lie on paper. You felt this. You thought, they were brave and I was scared. But they weren't braver than you. They were softer landed than you. The whole story you've told yourself was never about courage. It was about the floor. The real cruelty isn't the money or the nice things. This is one of the most uncomfortable realities of money, and it has almost nothing to do with what money buys. It's about who gets to feel calm. The protected kid has a different relationship with time itself. You experience the future as a threat. Some part of you braces, because the future is where the bill comes due. They see the future as a row of open doors. When they imagine the years ahead, they don't brace. They lean forward. So a failed business isn't a crisis to them. You fail, and it goes into your body as a wound, a verdict, something that follows you. They fail at the same thing, and it's just an interesting story, a chapter for the memoir. The identical event lands on them as an anecdote and on you as a sentence, because the floor turns disasters into stories, while the concrete turns them into scars. They don't know the small humiliation of asking for a loan from a relative who can't really spare it, sitting across a kitchen table from someone you love, watching them do their own scared math. They've never sat at that table, and because they never have, they go through life believing the people who do are simply weaker. The protection doesn't just cushion their falls, it blinds them to everyone still falling, and the floor doesn't stop with them, it pours forward. The protected kid grows up and pours the same calm under their children, and you pour your floor too. Your kids watch you do the scared math at the kitchen table, reading your face when the envelope comes, the same way you read your mother's. You're not failing them. You're loving them with everything you have. But you can't give them a floor you were never given. That's how the asymmetry survives, not through villains, through love. And it'll keep running unless someone in the chain sees it clearly enough to do something different. Which is the only reason I'm telling you any of this. I didn't tell you this to make you bitter. Bitterness is just the fear pointed sideways. The protected person isn't your enemy. They're just someone who's never looked down. Here's what the knowledge is for. The next time you watch someone make the easy leap and that small voice says they're brave and you're scared, you finally have something to say back. You can say, "That's not courage. That's a floor I can't see. My fear was never weakness. It was accurate." Then you can do the one thing the protected person can't. You can learn to tell the two apart. When the fear stands up, ask it, "If this goes completely wrong, what is the real floor?" Name it out loud. The fear speaks in absolutes, ruin, end, never. Because that's the only language the concrete taught it. Make it speak in specifics. Specifics are how you tell the cliff from the crack. Once you understand the floor, you start reading people through money, not their balance, their nervous system. You see who's calm because they understand, and who's calm because they've never been afraid. This is the real dark wisdom money keeps hidden. The people who look most fearless usually understand danger the least. Go back, one last time, to the room in Paris, 1882. The boy asleep upstairs, about to wake into a forgiven world. You've spent your whole life thinking that if you'd just been braver, you'd have woken up in that warm world too. But you were never the boy. The boy was made in a warm room before he was born, and no amount of courage was ever going to put a floor under you that the world didn't already build. You were the one on the concrete. You always were. And the difference was never nerve. It was the cushion. You just couldn't see it. Now you can.